Good morning, everyone out there in YouTube land. My name is Jared, and this is my channel, Mazda B3K. This video, we are going to work on replacing an ignition switch for my 1989 Ford F350 with a 7.3 liter IDI diesel. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, first things first, if you need to get to your ignition switch, it is located up here on the top, all the way in the back next to the firewall. So we need to bring the whole steering column down. There are two 9/16 bolts that we need to drop. First, we have to get our trim panels out of the way. Now, this guy is already, as you can see, it's busted, so that was easy. But if it's not busted, you got to take a pick and kind of pull on that, and then this whole thing comes off, the metal bit too. And that's how that works. There's a similar detent over here on the lights. You just gotta, you can kind of see it on, I think it's on the other side. I guess, yeah, it's kind of around on this side. But you get back there with the pick, push the detent, and this will come off. Make sure your battery's disconnected when you do this, because your lights are gonna be on and stuff like that. And once that's out, we got to pull this trim panel off. So, give you a better picture here. See how the top of that's sticking out? You see how it's lined up with this notch? You get a pick into the notch, you pull the metal springy bit up top, and the camera will focus, then the knob comes right off. Now, trim panel, you need to do the left, then the right. So this one's already a little bit busted, so I can just kind of gently work it, and yeah, there you go, off it comes. And then that's all we need to do. Now, if this would actually stay in, you would need to unscrew this, but in my case, it just kind of pops out because that plastic's a little bit weak. So you come over here, same kind of deal, you just kind of gently pull, get it out of the way. Congratulations. Next stop, it looks like somebody had fun with some hot glue there, or silicone. Next stop is we need to get these kind of shoulder 9/16. There's one right there, there is one over here. Get those out, and then the column is going to come on down, and once it comes on down, we'll be able to get at the ignition switch. So give you a better picture here. See how the top of that's sticking out? You see how it's lined up with this notch? You get a pick into the notch, you pull the metal springy bit up top, and the camera will focus, then the knob comes right off. Now, trim panel, you need to do the left, then the right. So this one's already a little bit busted, so I can just kind of gently work it, and yeah, there you go, off it comes. And then that's all we need to do. Now, if this would actually stay in, you would need to unscrew this, but in my case, it just kind of pops out because that plastic's a little bit weak. So you come over here, same kind of deal, you just kind of gently pull, get it out of the way. Congratulations. Next stop, it looks like somebody had fun with some hot glue there, or silicone. Next stop is we need to get these kind of shoulder 9/16. There's one right there, there is one over here. Get those out, and then the column is going to come on down, and once it comes on down, we'll be able to get at the ignition switch. Alright, so there she is. The nuts are 7/16, and in my case they were extremely loose. I barely bumped them and they came loose. There's an ear connector on each side, so I would suggest some small jeweler's flathead screwdrivers, kind of wiggle waggle the connector out, and then we can get the old switch out, take a look at it, and go ahead and work on getting the new switch in. Alright, so comparing the old and the new, there's two things that I noticed real quick. Thing number one, as you see that? See how that flexes? This switch was starting to separate, which means it probably was starting to develop intermittent contact, which would make you think that other stuff is broken. So this was starting to fail. Notice this one doesn't budge, right? The other thing is the new one comes with a hold down clamp, my bobber thing that I got to figure out. And the old one did not have one in position. So what that tells me is most likely somebody got to this one and was trying to do something, but yeah, this one was starting to go bad. Which means I got to figure out how you use this hold down clamp, my gummer, my doodle. But we will reconnect it to the switch. We may have to wiggle it back and forth a little bit. See how there's a pretty broad slot? You have to get it adjusted for where the rod is supposed to connect inside the switch. So if we compare these, the long metal push rod that sits on top of the column is going to connect in to one of these positions. And looking at it, I can see they're not in the same position right now. See that? But I can move that with like a screwdriver. And I bet that if I move it, if I move it back and forth, I'm going to feel that this one's going to be real smooth and that actually kind of mushy. There's no clear delineation between key positions, which is what I was feeling with the key, and this one should be crisp. That's what I bet when I check. So what I've done, I was correct. This one is definitely worn. It's much easier to move between positions, and this one's a lot stiffer. I have to give it much more muscle. So what I've done is I've put them both in what would be the equivalent of accessory. I've got the key and accessory. So in theory, if I hook this guy in where it needs to be, everything should be fine. The key shouldn't be in a weird spot, and we should be able to get our full rotation to start and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna try to figure this out and go from there. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is a new day. So where we left off, I had moved the ignition switch to the accessory slot, and I put it back on. And then what I didn't show is I rolled the key, and I can tell you that now with the new switch, it feels right. So when you put it on lock, you know, it actually lets the key go. Come on, behave. There it goes. Put it on accessory, you get accessory, you roll it forward. You actually feel the stops as it rolls forward. And then when you bump the key for start, it actually does it. I mean, the starter is still misbehaving, but finally, for the first time since I've owned this thing, the entire column is now sorted out, and it works like it's supposed to. So that was definitely the last piece of the puzzle for me. To put all this back together, as you can see, I already put it back together. 7/16 on the nuts. It's 9/16 for the two bolts that hold the steering column up. And then don't forget to put your shift indicator back on its peg. And then in my case, I've got a connector right here I need to reconnect so I can test out turn signals and things like that. But that'll do it for this video. Alright folks, that's going to do it for this video. We successfully changed out the ignition switch on my 1989 Ford F350 diesel. If you found this video interesting, if you found it entertaining, If you learned something, please consider like, sharing, and subscribing. That does allow me to grow the channel, which lets me bring you more content like this. Also, please leave a comment. I like to read them, I like to learn from them, and I like to reply to them. And remember, guys, I make mistakes, so you don't have to. I'll catch you next episode.